Yep. Okay, you're good.
Hey everybody, welcome to Epic Empire. I am calling from the middle of the Caribbean, which is kind of cool that we can actually do that. I'm actually here in my room, my little cabin space. We have a balcony. It's amazing, and I wish all of you were here with us. The company rewards us for Success Club consistently with these amazing free trips. So I know you've seen a lot of pictures, and we want you guys here. So I don't have the Success Club numbers in front of me because I'm calling for myself, and I'm literally at like this little vanity desk with good lighting, actually. But we want you guys here. So hit Success Club consecutively and sign up for the Success Club trip. If you're not on the wait list, go ahead and get on the wait list. It's for the Dominican Republic in 2017. Also, the Super Saturday coming up in DC will be Tony Horton, Jeff Hill, and Tara Carr as our guest speakers. So if you are in the DC region, Virginia, Maryland, DC, North Carolina, if you need to drive 2 hours, we have at least, I think, around 75 Epic Empire coaches attending Super Saturday in DC. So we would love to see you there. It's actually sold out. So I don't even know why I'm promoting it, but it's going to be a good time. If you are not in DC, you need to get plugged into one that is in your local market. So typically there's one in any large city that's close to you. So if you're in North Carolina, they're probably Charlotte or Raleigh, wherever. Go find a Super Saturday close to you and be at an event. It will change your business. It will change your mind and your perspectives on how things work. And you'll learn a lot of different things on how other teams do things. Not everybody does it the same way we do. And you can bring it back to the team and tell us what you learned. So I'm super excited about our guest speaker tonight because, if it was in anybody else, I'd be like, I'm off tonight. We got this. Somebody else. But it's Tommy Mygrant. He's near and dear to my heart. Tommy, let me give you a little backstory. So I was this new coach. I had no clue what was going on. I was just an insanity challenger who got a transformation. And I went on the message board and found this random coach named Lori. And she was a mama too who was succeeding at insanity. And so I was like, okay, she's doing it. I'm failing. I need to call her or message her. So I sent her an email, old school, right? I sent her an email and said, I suck at insanity. I need help. I was a college cheerleader. There's no reason why I can't succeed at this. Like, I know how to work out. I know how to condition. We used to go through conditionings and things like that. And I just couldn't succeed. And what I was missing was that accountability. Anyways, Lori plugged me into her challenge group, but she also plugged me into the Swarm Cave, which is really cool. I wish we had like a special name for our team. We just have Epic Empire, but they're the Swarm team. And then they have this page on Facebook called the Swarm Cave, right? And that's where, is that what it's called? Swarm Cave?
Yeah.
I haven't been in there a long time, but that is where I met Tommy. Now, Tommy and I have very similar personalities. We're both rubies. And so the very first Team Cup, and you guys know we just had a Team Cup recently, came along, and I wanted to be on like the winning team because I'm a competitor. I like to go hard, hit goals, and achieve big things. And so somehow, I don't remember how, but I got on Tommy Mygrant's Team Cup. And here I am, like literally 2 months into coaching. And they were like, I think at the time it was 30 points max. I was like, I am going to hit 30 points. I'll hit 100 points. I don't care. You just tell me. I'll go door to door until I hit whatever the max is. That's a Ruby personality. But anyways, it was 30 points max. And I remember very vividly, Tommy was like, yeah, I'll do whatever we need to do. And I'm like, no. You're like a superstar, okay? There's no doing whatever you do. Here's a new coach telling this big superstar. Anyways, I was on his Team Cup. I was super honored. I think we ended up getting like technically 8th place. We had some logistic issues, but we did really well in the Team Cup. And that was what catapulted my business forward. I drove really hard. I think I hit Success Club like 32 that month, and my business just went forward from that time. And that was 3 months into the business. And from there, I just kept going and kept going. And I leaned on Tommy when I was struggling with leadership, when I was struggling with how to handle different coaches' personalities. He's been on the phone with me, mentoring me through that. So it's just a super special person in my life. And he is part of the reason Epic Empire is here today. Backstory, I'm totally not telling this in order, but the night that I was considering becoming a coach, I was invited to join Tommy's team call with Swarm, And I was listening, and it was just happened to be a night that he was sharing like his journey and his story. And I was literally like, he's a man, and when men cry, I cry. But Tommy, when you hear him speak, he's a football coach. He's very passionate. And he started telling his story, and he was like yelling, crying at the same time. And I had it on speakerphone, and Josh was listening to it at the same time. I was like, this is so amazing. Like, I want to know this dude, and I want to be a part of what he's doing, because he has won me over. Like, I am in this. And it was from that day that I went all in. And so Tommy is honestly, I'm not trying to be like flower you up or pat you on the back too much, but you're the reason why I'm here. I signed up to become a coach because of your team call, not because of my upline, but because of your team call. So thank you so much, Tommy, for being on the call. It's an honor, because he doesn't do this for everybody, guys. He's a busy man with newborn twins and a baby and a little toddler.
That is very true. Yeah.
Probably last.
No, I limit myself to doing maybe one of these a month now, just because we have 5-month-old twins. We have a 2-year-old. We just moved into a new house. I mean, if I show you, this is the guest room right now. Boxes everywhere, you know. And so, no, I don't do this for just anybody, but the fact, you know, that Jatana reached out to me and my connection with her from when she first started, and she's not even like on my team, right? But I look at her sort of like my little sister. I've been very, very proud of everything that her and this entire organization, the whole Epic Empire organization has achieved. Kind of like that proud, you know, big brother standing offside, just watching what you guys are doing, and it's really awesome. I love seeing it. So, anything else, or should we go ahead and get rocking?
Well, I just wanted Nicola to be able to run through your credentials real quick, and then we'll get started, just so everybody's like, you know, legit. You're legit, right? It's not just me flowering you up. Go ahead, Nicola.
And I'm pretty proud to say all these. So, so Tommy is the Swarm founder. He's the one that founded Swarm and is leading Swarm. He's a 2-time Beachbody Elite Top 10. He won Elite and Leadership Award winner, and he's 23-star Diamond Beachbody coach. And last 6 months, 8 months maybe, you hit Millionaire Club. So those are all his credentials.
Yeah.
Right. So,
that was a year and a half ago, believe it or not.
Was it a year and a half ago? See, I've been with Tommy for a while, so.
Yeah, we're almost to we're getting closer to being over 1.5 million now. Yeah. But no, I mean, you know, it's nice. You know, I mean, here's the thing. It's crazy whenever anybody introduces me and talks about the impact I've had, or what my ranks are, or how much money I've made, or any of these things. The reality is this: I'm just a regular freaking guy. I was born and raised in a small town of 8,000 people. I've been a high school football coach now for 18 years. I'm 40 years old. I still coach high school football, but I do it now in Fort Lauderdale. This business has not only just given me a path to create an entirely different existence. I lost over 100 pounds with P90X, became a Beachbody Challenge finalist in 2009. So I'm one of those old school guys that have been around for a long, long time, before many of you guys even heard of Beachbody. I became a coach in 2008, and that was really at a time when we really had no plan. We didn't have social media. We didn't have challenge groups. We didn't have challenge packs. We didn't have Shakeology when I became a coach. All of that stuff came along later on in the process. Everything that we are about now as a network, whether it's the trainers, like Sagi and Autumn, which I don't know if you guys have seen Country Heat coming out. I think that's going to be freaking killer, to be honest with you. I think that's going to open up a whole world of people that'll say yes to what we do and yes to what we offer, that wouldn't have said yes to things like Insanity or Body Beast or even Hammer and Chisel or any of those things. So, I do want to just talk a little bit about Jatana. When we were on this Team Cup, and I think for a long time in this business, I was always having to be in charge of everything, right? And there was a point, and it was right around the time that Jatana was coming around, where I had to start learning that for my team to grow bigger than what I could get it there by myself, I had to sort of lessen myself and allow other people that were willing to step up into leadership, step up and lead, right? This business is a lot about, and I've discovered this over time, and over time it'll make sense to everybody. John Maxwell talks about the fact that leadership isn't about creating followers, it's about creating other leaders. And so when someone like Jatana comes around and she's gung-ho and she's ready to rock and roll, I'm like, fine, take the wheel, right? Take the wheel. Go ahead, lead. And as a result of that, as a result of me sort of stepping aside, letting someone who was very ambitious step into that role, even though she was brand new, even though she didn't know a lot about what was going on yet, she didn't care. She just wanted to do it and do it big, right? And she wanted to win the whole thing. Well, we were a top 10 team out of, I don't know, it was like 3,000 teams at the time or something like that. So I've had to learn, I've had to temper my Ruby a little bit and allow other people that have capability step up into leadership roles. And so, and as a result of that, my team has grown even bigger. It's growing right now, as we speak. So anyway, just a little bit though, man. I mean, I'm a regular guy. I'm a high school football coach. I am super passionate about Beachbody because of how it's changed my life and how it's dramatically impacted the lives of other people that I know and love. And I've seen a lot of the success stories. I've been a success story on both the fitness and the business. And I got to tell you, man, I met my wife through Beachbody. She was a Florida girl. That's how I ended up living in South Florida. That's how I ended up coaching football at this high school. I coach football at the most talented kids in the entire country, which is also something that I'm super passionate about. But starting out in the business, man, if you look at my first, my first month in the business, I made $50, right? I made $50. I signed up one person. And I think it was like my buddy, and I was like, dude, he had been doing P90X with me. I'm like, let's just do this coach thing, right? So he signed up, and he got we didn't have challenge packs. We had vitamin packs. That's all we could sell at that time, vitamin packs and recovery drinks. So he bought that for the $100, and I got $50. I got the $50. So my first month, I made $50. My first 6 months, I might have made like $300, $400, $500. I mean, I could show you the screenshots of my income at that time. My first year, I made $5,000. Okay. And, and then, here I am now. I mean, I'm in the $1 Million Club. I was the 47th member of the $1 Million Club, which meant that I had earned $1 million of total income in my time as a coach. And obviously that gets bigger as you go. So I hate to think what would have happened had at the time that I was brand new and had no idea what the hell I was doing. I had no idea. I didn't know, right? I had, at the time I was busy. I was the vice president of an insurance agency. I was coaching high school football. I had a really busy social life with my buddies, going golfing, playing poker, doing those kind of things. I was involved in local organizations and really giving myself and my skills and my heart to my local community. And then what happened was I became a coach, and that first year I kind of dabbled in coaching. I really just focused on the fitness side and helping people get started with P90X at the time. And helping them just kind of, lose weight. My biggest focus was helping people lose weight. And the reason was because that's what I had done. I had lost 112 pounds or something like that. And so it was a natural fit for me to target people on the premise of weight loss. I didn't even realize that was my target market, but that's what it became, was weight loss. I was also targeting local people. I went on a mission to build a team of 300 coaches. I just told myself I'm going to find 300 coaches in North Central Ohio that live near me. And now we have over, 2,000, 3,000 coaches within a 2-hour radius of that location, right? And so, and we're going to get into some of these things, but it was really a conversation I had with Carl Deichler. I was so focused that first year on winning the Beachbody Challenge, right? At the time, the Beachbody Challenge was $250,000. Okay. And I had a huge weight loss story. I got completely ripped. I was like 7% body fat. I could finally see my toes. I was like just all kinds of jacked up. And so I had my mind set on the fact that I was going to win the Beachbody Challenge. Well, I got second place. And to me, second place was like a huge kick in the nuts. I hated it. I was pissed off. I felt like I got screwed, right? And I'm standing backstage that night at Summit, and Carl Deichler is standing next to me. And this is the first real conversation face-to-face that I ever had with Uncle Carl, who I love dearly. And Carl looks at me and he says, hey, how are you feeling right now? Because the winner, Dallas Carter, who was from Hawaii, he won $250,000. He's over there with his big check, standing in front of the spotlights, and he's got this $250,000 check. And I looked at Carl and I said, Carl, I feel like the other team just kicked my ass, and I don't like it. And he looked at me and he said, Tommy, you have an amazing story and you have an amazing heart for people, and it's evident. And listen, if you do this coaching thing right, you'll make $250,000 every year, if not every month. I promise you. And that was when, and at the time, I guess I had never thought about that. I never saw this coaching thing as an opportunity. This coaching thing was kind of my social thing. It became my new social environment. And I think a lot of people kind of get stuck in this, that you're discovering something new. You finally are around a new group of people, and they're positive people, and they're energized people, and they're working out. Maybe you're working out for the first time in a long time, or, you're just trying to get a grip on yourself, and you don't understand really the bigger vision of what this can possibly be in your life. And I can tell you, here I am now, 8 years later, I'm very grateful that I did the grind. I'm very grateful that I put my time and effort into building a team and to really going all in with this. And I'll tell you why, because I can spend time I get time with my kids. I have 3 children under 3 years old. We have 5-month-old twins. We have a 2-year-old. Most men are not in the household, right? Most men are out working. They're trying to, bring home the bacon. A lot of moms are stuck at home raising the kids. And I can't even imagine my wife trying to have all these 3 kids by herself. I get to be kind of a stay-at-home dad. And now I can work this business in the time that's allotted. I can put my, 10 hours a week in right now. But for a while, I was putting in a lot more than that. For a while, I had to grind it out. And I think that's part of what we're going to talk about tonight. And what I want to discuss with you is this, because all of you are here for a reason, right? All of you said yes for a reason. You said yes to the workouts. You said yes to coaching. You said then you took it a step further. You said yes to getting on these calls each and every week. And there's a reason behind the fact that you said yes all along the way. One is because you agree with it and you know in your heart it's a good thing. 2, it's because there's something involved with this that you're getting out of it. For some of you, it's you're getting a new social group of people out of this. For some of you, it's the chance to earn additional income. For some of you, it's the chance of just feeling better about yourself or achieving something for yourself. Maybe you felt dead in the water in your life for a long time, and this is a chance for you to kind of start fresh and partake in something that really is taking the entire country by storm. But I want you to know that there are some things that can kill your vision of what this is going to be, right? And there's some things out there that are, and I think it's important in anything you're trying to achieve. And I don't know what it is that you're trying to achieve or at what level you're trying to achieve it, but I know that you're connected to a leader like Jatana who has very big visions. And I know that she believes in you greatly, right? If she didn't believe in you greatly, she wouldn't waste my time by asking me to be on this call. I'm telling you that right now, okay? But there's some things out there, and I think it's important when you're trying to achieve something that you know what the enemy is, right? That you can identify the enemy that's trying to keep you from success. And there is an enemy out there. There is an enemy out there that's trying to keep you from achieving your dreams, trying to keep you from achieving your goals. And I'm here to help identify some of the areas that can kill your dreams when it comes to the Beachbody business. And I've seen this with the thousands of coaches I've worked with the thousands of coaches that I've witnessed in my own journey. I've succumbed to some of these things along the way. So I want to just give you a list of my top coaching killers, right? These are the things that can kill you as a coach. And number 1 is this: a failure to commit. And I got to tell you, right, in that first year, I really wasn't committed. In my second year, I really wasn't committed. I was committed to the workouts, and I was committed to being super fit, and I was committed to being the poster boy for P90X. But I couldn't understand why some of my friends that I had made through this business were doing better things than me and making $5,000 a week. And here I was making, $50 a week. $100 a week, $80 a week. I couldn't understand how in the same 2 years did they get to that point and I was still going nowhere fast. And the reality was this: I was committed to everything but the business. I didn't understand the business. I didn't understand team building. I wasn't committed yet to building a team. I think a lot of people, I want to ask you this question. On a scale of 1 to 10, how in are you when it comes to coaching? And I'm not talking about just being around, right? I'm not talking about, hey, I'm hanging out on the coach page. Hey, I'm talking about my workouts with everyone else that's already working out. Okay, our job as a coach isn't to sit around and socialize with the rest of the coaches. Our job is to go out there and tell the rest of the world about what it is that we have to offer, what it is that we believe in, and about who we are, what we do, and why we do it. And why it might help them. Our job is to get people from the outside to come into the Beachbody bubble, right? That's our job, is to spread the word. All right? How committed are you? Because I got to tell you this, the company is committed. Uncle Carl is freaking committed to this thing. And come hell or high water, we're going to get to 1 million coaches. Come hell or high water, we will go global. Come hell or high water, he will create the vision of 10,000 people hitting Millionaires Club. The only question is, are you committed to yourself as much as everyone else is committed? Right? Are you as committed to who you are and what your team is as what Carl is to the entire organization? Okay? What does Carl do as he's committed? Carl is constantly coming out with new material, right? Carl is constantly trying to find a better way. Carl is constantly reinvesting, okay? He makes millions of dollars. Listen, he could just take those millions of dollars every year that he makes and he could put it in his pretty little pocket and line his pockets and, and walk away off in the sunset and be very happy the rest of his life. But he takes a lot of that money and he reinvests it. He goes out and hires some of the best people, right? And there was one time that I asked Uncle Carl. I was sitting with him. We were having dinner in Tahiti. It was on a top 10 trip. We were in Bora Bora, and we were having those little water huts over the blue water. We're sitting down. We're having dinner. I'm sitting right next to Uncle Carl, and I said, "Hey, Carl, I got a question for you, man. As this thing grows, and I see you hiring more people to join the corporate team, let me ask you a question. What do you look for in people that you hire? Because obviously, a lot of people would want a job with this company. How do you determine who it is that you actually bring on board?" And he said, number one is this: they have to be completely honest and forthright. Completely honest and forthright. I don't want to hear what they think I want to hear. I want to hear the truth. I want to know where we're missing. I want to know where we're failing. I want to know where we can get better. Okay? And I don't need somebody to just give me lip service. I need somebody that is going to tell me what is best for the whole. Right? And so I started thinking about some of the people that I was hiring, because when we recruit a coach, we're hiring somebody to join our team. And sometimes we're out there and we're hiring people who suck and their life sucks, right? You know what I'm saying? How many of you are guilty of that? Like how many of you are guilty of you sponsor somebody and they just suck the life out of you? Or you hire somebody that doesn't really want to be hired. They're not really looking to be part of the team. They're kind of feeling forced to become part of the team because you think that you just want to sign up a coach. So you try to talk people into it that don't really want it, okay? All of these things. Number two, he said, I got to be able to see myself hanging out with them. They got to be my kind of people. They can't be a big dickhead. This is exactly what he said. He used the word dickhead, okay? They can't be a dickhead. Like, if I can't have a company Christmas party and feel good about them being at that party, then I don't want them on my team. So some of these parameters are parameters that you can also use, right? You should also be using these parameters for people you hire. That's how I look at it. I don't want coaches on my team that are jerks. I don't want coaches on my team that don't believe in the mission. I don't want coaches on my team that aren't going to be as committed to this thing as what I've been. So number one, failure to commit. On a scale of 1 to 10, where do you sit? And then you have to be honest with yourself. If you're saying that you're an 8 commitment, but you're at a 3 activity level or a 3 recruiting level, hey, let's face this. This is a recruiting business. As far as the business goes, it's a recruiting freaking business. If you're not recruiting, if you're scared to recruit, you need to get over yourself, because the results are never going to happen until you learn to freaking recruit. You got to recruit people to fitness. You got to recruit people to coaching. That's how this thing is built. So if you suck at recruiting, you might want to work on that a little bit, because otherwise you're going to go nowhere fast. Okay. Number two, the number 2 top killer is this: the failure to identify a mission. Your mission. What is your mission? Who is it that you want to serve? Why is it that you want to serve them? How are you going to serve them? Okay, it was easy for me because I came from a weight loss situation to sit there. I wanted to help fat people. I was a fat guy that had felt good because I was no longer a fat guy. And I used Beachbody to achieve that. So it naturally fit me to target obesity, to target food addiction, all the things that I struggle with. But man, and it drives me nuts, man. There's some of you that you have such an incredible story, and the power is in your struggle. The power isn't in all your success, and it's in your struggle, okay? It's sharing the ugly. because that's what people will draw to. That's when people go, man, I struggle with that too. And if you can identify what it is you struggled with and how Beachbody helped you overcome that, then you can go out and find other people who struggle with the same thing and show them how Beachbody can help them overcome it. But many of you are out there and you haven't identified your niche, your target. It's like this. If you were going to go out deer hunting, wouldn't you want to look at a deer, right? The deer is the target. You got to have a target. You know you're hunting deer. You're not hunting birds. You're not hunting pigs. You're not hunting squirrels. So when the squirrel goes by, you're not going to shoot it because you're not out there to hunt squirrels. You guys understand that? You got to have a target. It's hard to hit a bullseye if you don't have a target. So you have to realize that, man, I could sit here and help people with fitness all day, and that's great, and I could make a little bit of money, but if I wanted to make a lot of money, I was going to have to help people and have a mission when it came to building a team of freaking coaches. That's how this thing works. There's a reason why team builders make more money. Here's why. I can go out and help 100 people in a year. That's 2 people a week, right? Get started on a program. But if I have a team of 1,000 people and they all do the same thing, that's 100,000 people getting helped. You guys understand that? So there's power in numbers. And on the days when I'm feeling a little bit waning, my team is still talking about it. If it's just me out there talking about it, I'm only going to get paid for what I do. If I have a team of people and we are talking about it together, all in our own way, all on our own pages, all in our own communities, then the same time I'm talking to somebody, another 100 coaches are talking to somebody, I get a little bit of everybody's effort because they're on my team. So what's your mission when it comes to building a team? And I got to tell you, man, there was a guy, David Atkins, and he's really big right now in the network. 2.5 years ago, he came up to me at Summit. He had been a coach for 2 years, and he only had 50 coaches on his team. And he's like, man, I have to do this, but I really don't know where I'm missing. And I said, well, how many coaches do you have right now? He said 50. I said, good. Call me when you get to 100. That's all I said to him. Call me when you get to 100. I don't want to talk to you until you get to 100, okay? I didn't give him the specifics on how to do it. I didn't teach him everything else. I said one thing. I gave him a goal. I gave him a target, a certain number of people to hit. And he went out and like 2 months later, he was at 100. And he calls me. He says, now what do I do? I said, get to 250. 3 months later, he calls me. All right, we're at 250. Now what do I do? I said, get to 500. I just kept giving him targets all along the way. It was like a 5-second phone call. And he kept building a team and building a team and building a team. Here he is 2.5 years later. He's got 2,000 coaches. He's been on the national wake-up call. He made elite coach. His wife was just able to quit her teaching job. And he's probably a year or two away from retiring officially as a police officer in New Jersey. Okay? But he had to take ownership, and he had to start setting goals, and he had to have a target number to hit and a target mission of people to go serve. Number 3 is this. The number 3 top killer in coaching business is this, a covetous spirit. What do I mean by that? I mean this. You're looking around, you're seeing all these people succeeding, you see somebody else's profile picture, and they're really freaking pretty, and they're all professionally made up, and they're not you. And you think, why do they have all that? Well, they're really successful, or they're making more money than me, or they're a higher rank than me. I've been working hard. Why am I not there yet? Listen to me. Stop comparing yourself to everybody else, okay? God designed you specifically to be who you are, period. To look how you look, to act how you act, to be how you be, all right? Stop worrying about what everyone else freaking looks like, okay? I'm never going to have fake boobs and makeup. I'm never going to have that, period. So it makes no sense for me to sit around and go, oh, what, and cry my freaking little tears and cry that, well, all these women are killing it. Well, hey, listen, man, I've done pretty freaking well. I don't look like any of them. Stop using that as an excuse, Figure out who you want to be and how you want to do this and go freaking do it. And stop comparing. When you sit around and compare yourself, you know, like I just bought a house in a neighborhood. It's not the nicest house in the neighborhood. It's a nice house, right? But it's not the biggest house in the neighborhood. It doesn't have the nicest car in the driveway. Guess what? That's fine with me. I don't give a crap, you know, what the outside looks like. I care what's on the inside. I know if I fill my house with love and I love my kids and I love my wife, that things are going to be okay, right? Stop comparing your house to everyone else's house. Take care of your house. Mow your grass, right? Trim your trees. Make your bed. Stop worrying about everyone else, how they're making their bed, and go do your bed, all right? Number 4 is this, a lack of vision. You don't have a vision for this yet. We kind of hit on this already. You know, like your vision has to be specific though. It has to be a specific number of people. It has to be a specific type of people, right? Go build a culture of people like Jatana's done, right? With Epic Empire, she's built a culture of people. But I got to tell you what, the culture of Epic Empire is there to give birth to other groups. You guys understand that? It can't just be one group. My team has several groups. They don't all look like me. They don't all sound like me. I've encouraged my leaders now to go build their own culture. And as I've been able to do that, I could just work with the top leader. It's taken a lot of pressure off of me, and now they're growing their own culture. You guys understand that? So if there's if you want to create a culture, I suggest you go do that. But you need to sit down. If I was you guys, I would sit down and I would write out your mission statement and clearly identify what your vision is, where you want to go, and put a deadline on it. Write this down. A dream or a goal without a deadline is a dream. That's all it is. Okay? And a deadline that's too far out doesn't put enough pressure on you to get it done. It gives you, some of you have a deadline of getting to diamond, like you have a goal of getting to diamond, but you haven't put a time frame on it. Or you said, I'll get to diamond by next Christmas, which gives you like, what, 10 months? It's too long. It's too long. I'm going to tell you right now, it's too long. You're going to procrastinate. And all of a sudden it's going to be Thanksgiving, and then you're going to use the excuse, because you had the excuse of I still got time, right? Now you're going to get the, freaking the holidays. You're going to go, well, it's the holidays. Nobody wants it. And now that's going to become your excuse. I did this with a girl on my team, Liz Bellini. She told me, I said, well, when are you going to get the diamond? She said, well, I'll get there by Christmas. This was in February one year. I said, no, bullshit. You'll get there by Easter. I'm not hearing anything else from you. Easter it is, okay? And guess what? She got there a week before Easter. The only thing that she was missing was the pressure of an increased deadline, right? How many of you, when you were in school and there was a paper due, how many of you waited until like a couple days before to do the paper? At the beginning of the semester, the teacher told you the paper would be due. You had the whole semester to work on it, but you didn't do it until the pressure of the deadline was on top of you. How many of you are guilty of procrastinating till the last minute in your life? Okay? Well, in this business, when you learn to use deadlines to your advantage, then it's good. See, some of you make Success Club. The deadline is the end of the month. What if you moved it up to the 10th of the month? What if you said, I'm going to make Success Club by the 10th of the month? I'm going to double that by the 20th. And now you create deadlines within the month. See, but some of you don't want the pressure of it. You want the results of it. You want the glory of it. You want the rank of it. You want the recognition of it. You want the paycheck of it. But you don't want the freaking commitment of it. Commitment isn't, some of you are busy dating this business. You date it, you flirt with it, right? You give it some kisses here and there, but you're not married to it. That's just the truth. How many of you know there's a difference between marriage and dating? The commitment of marriage is a hell of a lot different than the commitment of dating is, right? Well, in the business, when you get committed to it, which was the number one thing, a failure to commit, you understand that you're going to do it no matter what, even when you don't want to. Everybody understand that, Hey, I don't want to. I got a broken freaking toe right now. I got 3 kids running around, okay? I just moved into a house. I'm at 9 points for the month with 2 new coaches for the month, okay? And it's what, the 16th? It's middle of the month. I'm doing it. I don't necessarily want to right now. I don't necessarily need to. I'm going to get paid thousands of dollars this week whether I do or not. You guys understand that? But there's a difference between dating and commitment. So that was number 4. Number 5, lack of a plan. and this comes down to also, comparing. Some of you don't like the plan that is majorly accepted right now in the network, which is, self-branding on social media and all that stuff. Okay. I've been a football coach for a long time, and I know this. There's different offenses that can win the game. All right. And your job is to pick an offense and run it the best that you can, no matter what that is. Okay. My offense, honestly, for the first 5 years that I was in this business, my offense was really locally focused. I ran fit clubs. I hosted home parties, and I did a lot of my stuff locally. And I make a lot of money right now because I did that for several years. Okay. I wasn't socially branded and all that stuff. Right now, that's a great offense. If you're going to do that, if you're going to go that route, if you're going to be a blogger, go be the best freaking blogger you can be. If you're going to, build a website and drive traffic to it and all that stuff, then go do that. I've never done that. I can't teach you how to do that. But if that's what you're going to do, I'm going to cheer you on and go do that and be the best at it that you can be, right? If you're going to build your brand on social media, if you're going to build a like page and get thousands of followers and you're going to have your core information, then go do that. Stop hesitating, go do it, and do it the best that you can do it. Everybody, if you're going to build a local team, then get a local freaking plan, right? Your plan doesn't always have to look like the next person's. Your image doesn't always have to look like the next person's. But you need to have a plan, which leads me to number 6, is this: a lack of consistency in the plan, right? So there's a lot of us and a lot of you that you do it and then you stop, and then you do it and then you stop, and then you do it and then you stop. And all you're doing is like a wave, up and down and up and down and up and down, okay? And the other thing is this, all right? I'm probably going to say something that a lot of people and a lot of leaders would smack me for right now. They would probably smack me and say, don't say that. You're going to scare the people. But I believe that you deserve to know the freaking truth, okay? You deserve to know the truth. Getting to 5 success points a month ain't going to cut the mustard. I'm just going to tell you this right now. That ain't going to cut the mustard, okay? Slow and steady doesn't win the freaking race. I'm just going to tell you that right now, okay? This thing is like an airplane. Listen, if you're going to build a team, this is all focused on if you're going to build a team. You can't – the thing is like an airplane. And imagine if an airplane was going down the runway and it was just kept going at the same speed, nice and slow, nice and steady, nice and slow, nice and steady, nice and slow. It's moving, but it's not going to lift off the ground. It's not going to get in the air. It's not going to get into cruise control and fly 3,000 miles. Do you guys understand that? It's too heavy. It can't get off the ground. And so in this business, on the team building side especially, you're better served to go freaking hit the ground hard and fast and recruit as many people as you can, right? For an extended period of time. That time might be 18 months. It might be 2 years. It might be 3 years. It might be 5 years. I can't tell you. But, you need to start upping your goals a little bit if that's what you want. If you want to eventually make $1,000 or $2,000 or more in this business, you're not going to do it. I've got coaches that they've made Success Club 5 every month for 30 years, and they're still only making, a couple $100 a week, and they can't understand why. And it's because I tell them, you've never got momentum. You've never gotten the thing to lift off the ground. You got to go a little bit faster. You got to stop settling for 6 points and 1 coach a month and start setting your goals for 5 coaches a month and do that consistently, or 10 coaches a month and do that consistently. Get over yourself and your fear of the fact that you're not capable, because you are capable once you get out of your way. But speed kills. I'm just telling you that. Speed kills. It's one of the reasons why Jatan is sitting here with her team, and because she's like a freaking Tasmanian devil when it comes to this stuff, right? I'm just telling you. She's like, screw it. I'm getting 196 points this month, and I don't even know what the hell I'm doing. Write this down. Write this down. Ignorance on fire is better than knowledge on ice. Okay? Ignorance on fire is better than knowledge on ice. That I would rather have somebody that don't know shit about what they're doing and they're going 100 miles an hour at it and doing a lot of damage with it. I did that. I had no idea what I was doing. I just went hard at it. You guys understand? You don't have to have a perfect plan. You got to have a plan and then go at that plan as hard as you can and as good as you can. You guys understand that? Which leads me to number 7, a lack of ownership. And this is the last thing, and then we'll be done. A lack of ownership. Listen, man, okay, I just bought this house. I was renting a house before. And when I was renting the house, I wasn't meticulously caring for the property, right? Because it really wasn't mine. I was just kind of living there temporarily, paying my monthly rent. The AC would go down. I didn't have to pay to fix it. I'd call the landlord. He'd come and fix it, right? I had little grass growing up in between the bricks in my driveway. I wasn't going to pay or do the work to get that stuff removed. It's not my freaking house. I'm renting it. But here's the thing. I just bought a house. There was some stuff I didn't like about the house. Guess who fixed it? I did. Guess who put the work in? I did. Guess you got to put your hands on it. It's yours. It's not Jatana's. It's yours. The only thing that matters in this business is from you down, period. From you up is irrelevant. Listen, I'm telling you, I've had to tell my own people this. Stop worrying about me. Stop waiting for me to start a freaking group. If you got a group, start one. If you need help or some guidance, call me. I'll give you some guidance. But I'm not going to run every single one of your groups. You guys understand it? It's time for you to step up and take some ownership of this thing and start getting your hands dirty and putting your stamp on it and taking ownership. Paint the walls the way you want to paint them, right? Put the sink in that you want. If you don't like the freaking, hot tub in the backyard, get rid of the damn thing. You guys understand that? It's your house. You own it. When you signed up to be a coach, you started a business. You became the CEO of your company. All right? My biggest question to you is this. What happens tomorrow? Let's say that something happens to Jatana. And God forbid something happened to Jatana. But let's say Jatana freaking dies. What's going to happen to your business? If your business would crash and burn without her, then you're wrong. I'm just telling you that, okay? I love Jatana. I think Jatana's great. I don't blame you guys for leaning on Jatana, but you own your own business. You own your own brand. You own your own team. It's not up to anybody else. It's not the company's job to build your team. It's not your upline's job to build your team. It's not your downline's job to build your team. It's your freaking job. And it's time to put your big girl pants on and go do it. So listen, I know I can be a little bit brash and a little bit harsh. I'm a football coach. I'm a guy, right? Some of you might be sitting around going, oh my God, this guy Tommy, he's a little bit serious. But listen, I am serious. And here's why, because I know that you guys have the ability to do some really great things and to go help a lot of people that I can't help. And I hope that you do. But it's not going to happen until you're really committed. It's not going to happen until you have a vision and a plan of your own. And it's not going to happen if you're sitting around comparing yourself to other people. And it's certainly not going to happen if you lack the proper ownership and treating this thing as if you own it and as if you're committed to it. So, guys, I wish you all the best. I know some of you are on the cruise. It's time to go have a cocktail. But I'll give it back to the powers that be.
Thank you so much. Do you have time for any questions, Tommy?
Yeah.
You're
sure.
Amazing. I love you. You're like a big brother. My big brother's actually on the call right now. He was my biggest skeptic, and he's now a coach, signing other coaches. He was the one who was like, oh my gosh, Jatana, what are you doing? And now he's here, and his coaches are here on the call. So I'm so thankful that he got to hear you. And thank you so much for taking the time out of your family's time. I know they are precious to you, and I appreciate it so much. Does anybody have a question for Tommy that they would like to ask? I mean, like, you have the beach body of wisdom right in front of you. What would you like to ask him? I'm going to open up the line. Go ahead and unmute yourself if you have a quick question. Don't be shy. Look, everybody's like, doot, doot, doot. Look, we even have Jason Delancey on the call. Jason Delancey, we pretty much
JD, my boy.
We adopted him early on.
Yeah, I love JD.
Anybody with a question? I think you scared him.
I think that was just rock star. You covered everything. That was awesome.
Well, thank you.
That sounded like Nicole. What about Ren, Afton, Lisa, Christine?
Listen, if you guys come up with some questions, don't hesitate to just send them to Nicola or Jatana or whatever, and they can get them to me, and I'd be happy to answer them in another format.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for being on the call. You guys are amazing. I love you. Have a wonderful night. I will be back in Fort Lauderdale in the morning, and I'm excited to hit the ground running with all of you. So thank you so much, Tommy. We appreciate your time.
You're welcome. All right, guys. Love you.
All right. Bye.